Guten Tag, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren. Es freut mich sehr, Sie hier begrüßen zu dürfen. Ich präsentiere 50 plus Döner.
Oh, whoops. I'm all by myself. It's like the good old days, bro. Oh my goodness. Beeflam has quit the show, so it's just me. No, Beeflam's having some computer issues, so hopefully he'll be on soon. Happy affiliate anniversary. Jesus, that was 4 years ago, which is also
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Micah T.
Yes, sir.
Oh, baby.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you for the thank you for the 48 months. That's yeah. Donors all around, yummy, yummy, dude. I need a good donor place in Chicago. There are none. Well, no, there are none that are donor. There's like good Euro spots, but not donor. I need to know if Jake is okay after his team lost in the Pokal yesterday. All right, this joke's not it. Let's jump into it. You know it. You've already known what happened, I think. The DFB Pokal for the men was this week. Stuttgart knocking off Leipzig and Arminia fucking Bielefeld, baby. 2-1 against Leverkusen. Last year's title champion. Bro, I need you to understand something. Third tier. They're in the third division. This would be like a USL 1 team beating, I don't know, who's a good fucking MLS team. I don't know. Like, that's crazy. There have been third teams in the Pokal final before, so this isn't like extremely like new. Well, actually it is, because the last one was 2002. But this is huge, guys. Like, I really need you to come away with this understanding how big of a moment this is. They've looked good all Pokal too. I mean, they've never let in more than one goal all tournament, and they're the only team to beat 4 Bundesliga teams. I think just ever. Like, not even another Bundesliga team have done that. So they've beaten 4 First League teams, and they have to make it 5 in order to win. But still, this is incredible. It really is crazy. Where are you guys seeing the affiliate anniversary thing? I'm not seeing that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Never taken seriously again, Kusen. They're having an off year, and like, I think everyone knew they weren't going to be able to do what they were going to do last year, but they were crashing the fuck out during that game in a way that I was not expecting them to against a third tier opponent. Ryan Lamy with the 30 months with the Bezos money. Thank you, my friend. Let's jump into it. I don't know where. Beeflam, if you come in here, then we've gotten started. Let's touch on this real quickly, because the second league is insane right now if you haven't kept up with that. There's starting to be a little bit of separation now, right? Like, third place being, like, it was really a lot tighter. Like, 7th and 1st were really close, but now you're starting to see the top of the pack kind of separate out. Still, 4th is not a relegation promotion spot. So, like, that 4th spot is still haunting, but there's starting to be a little more ground for the top 4 to exist in. But it's still going to be very tight. Obviously, it's very close. Cologne and Hamburg have some room to mess up, but no. No, they shouldn't. And the matches as well, so we can go over this real quickly. The big one is this, Magdeburg versus Kaiserslautern. For Magdeburg, they need to win that, because they're in that area that I was telling you about that the pack's starting to separate away from. And Kaiserslautern's in 3rd, so they want to keep in that, obviously. But the rest of them are kind of snoozers, I'm not going to lie to you. I will not lie to you. I think Bielefeld have to finish top 4 to be guaranteed to participate in the Pokal again. That is the other thing. So in the third league, you have to finish top 4 in order to be in the Pokal again next year. So theoretically, we could have a Pokal winner that's not in the Pokal at all next year. And that is insane to think about. Insane times to live through. Insane times to live through. Let's hop into this. Microsoft Paint. B-Fun, I don't know where B-Fun is. B-Fun's gonna have to mail me his prediction. But, the first game is, I would never in a million years, if you told me in the first half of the season last year that this would be a good fucking game, I would put you in jail. But Bayern Munich versus Augsburg. I have something to show you. This is the calendar year form for the Bundesliga. So, from January 1st till now. Augsburg is the third best team in the league in 2025. Fucking Augsburg. They've let in 4 goals in 2025. Only 4 goals. They've only been scored on 4 times. That is... They're a defensive powerhouse, man. Insane. Just build up. Like, let's be honest. They were toast in the first half of the season. They really were toast. And now they're just on a fucking tear. They've only lost 1 game this year, and it was a 1-0, and they're playing incredible. Like, this is like form that we have not seen since prime Union Berlin. Like, they are figuring that shit out, man. On the other hand, like, we don't really need to look at Bayern's form as much. Obviously, you know Bayern's doing very well, but let me bring up something that makes this a little interesting. So, they have a lot of defensive injuries. Obviously, Alphonso Davies, we have not talked about that since coming on. But he tore his ACL. Kingsley Coleman is out. Kuroki Ito's back out. So they have a weak defense. And then there's this. So Harry Kane has 4 yellow cards currently. Joshua Kimmich has 4 yellow cards currently. They have Champions League on Wednesday. A big Champions League game. And I don't think I need to tell you this, but keeping in mind Harry Kane and Joshua Kimmich, what's Bayern's next game? I see. I don't know how they're going to handle this game coming up. Like, you obviously don't want to lose. They're not that far ahead of Leverkusen. But you never want to lose against Dortmund. Even if it's not a real rivalry, right? Like, who cares? You don't want to lose again, like, in front of everybody, right? You don't want to lose in front of the hoes, so... Would be very funny to win the professional tournament but lose your state semi-pokal. Oh, we're still talking about Bielefeld. I will answer those back. After facing Barca. Oh, yeah, because Dortmund's playing Barcelona, too. Never want to root for Bayern. I always want to keep Vincent Kompany happening. Boy, I have something to say about Vincent Kompany. They need to get off his ass, bro. Like, I don't know why. Well, I know why some people... I don't know why people are on his ass so hard, dude. Like, he's had all these injuries. This is his first, like, big job. And people are just expecting, like, Bayern to have not lost a game in, like, any competition. They're doing great outside of Pokal. I don't know why people are being so hard on him. Like, he's doing great. And, like, this is a good first year that you can get out of a coach like this. They're going to have all these roster changes in the summer and stuff like that, and just let him cook. Just let him cool the fuck out a little bit. Okay. Whoops. I am going to predict... He's generally done so much better than I expected from going from Burnley. Bayern can't afford to lose to a lower table club. Lower table is a little... They're like... Not really lower table, really, at all. Where's the table? They are 39 points, so theoretically, if they win this, they could be tied with Leipzig on points. So, they're not really lower table. They're, like, pretty fucking close to Europe. So, we'll see. But, B-Flem said he's predicting 2-1 Bayern. I'm predicting... a fucking gauntlet of a game, an Augsburg 1-0. Just destructive, disgusting, defensive fucking football. Yeah. Boo, no draws. I know, B-Flam, don't even come on the show, bro. Don't even come on the show with that. Bayern are going to repeat history like they pushed Pep to City. They will push... Oh, my God. Get out of my chat with that. Is Marmouche not enough? Oh, you're talking about Dortmund being lower table. Speaking of Dortmund, Dortmund Freiburg is the other game that's on here. This is at this point, every game is a must-win for Dortmund at this point. Like, as we went to the table, Dortmund's not out of it, obviously, but the fact that, like, 7th is not going to be a European conference spot anymore, which is the big thing, right? Like, 7th, if Leipzig or Leverkusen had won, 7th would be a European qualification spot. But it's not anymore. And if you're Dortmund, that should freak you the fuck out, right? They have less room for error now. They played a really good game the last game, right? But, I mean, Freiburg, how's Freiburg doing? Oh, Freiburg's kind of fucking up. Yeah, Freiburg hasn't gotten a win in a little bit. So both teams are kind of needing this. It's kind of desperation for both teams, if we're being real. Like, Freiburg is going to be holding on. Like, that 7th spot that they're in right now, they don't have the best goal differential. Like, they can't chill the same anymore. Like, 6 is now the bar to get to. And I don't know if Freiburg got it in them. I think Leipzig's, as we saw with the Pokal game, they've got a lot of fucking questions to answer. But let's just predict this game. I'm blabbing. Yeah, is this Dortmund? Yeah, what the... This is Dortmund's season progression. Oh my god. Also, this is an away game, too. Oh, yeah, wait. That colors my entire thing of what I was going to say. I'm thinking another 1-0. Because I think Dortmund also is in a situation where they have to rest people for Champions League, whereas Freiburg does not have to do that. Any sense on European coefficient for next year? I'm not going to lie to y'all. That shit jump scared me every season. I don't know how that works still, so I'm not really sure. England and Italy likely to get the... Yeah, I would figure. Emery not getting a card and not playing against Bayern would be good. Insane thing to say about your own player. Schlotterbeck is suspended to... Okay, well, I'm changing my prediction now. I'm going to say that's a 2-0. I'm going 2-1 Dortmund. They can't afford to rest people. I don't think they have a... I don't know, man. What a fucking team, man. What is Dortmund doing? I genuinely have not seen a team where you literally don't know what team you're going to get, like, per game. Like, for them to... Oh. Well. Fucking well, huh? Look who decided...
Good morning, y'all.
In.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, y'all. Brother, you need a new rig?
Yeah, I was actually just looking into making some upgrades today.
I was gonna say you better hurry up. Beeflum, what do you have to say about this game now that you don't have to type?
Now that I don't have to type, it is, well, you said it earlier, it's desperation time for both of these teams. They're both sliding. I like Dortmund's performances a little bit more as of recent, I think. But
what has it been?
My thing is, outside of Augsburg and coming off the break, they looked the best, or dare I say the best they have in the league this season in that one game. If we ignore that Union Berlin game, my big thing is they can't afford to rest people. They're sitting 10th in the league right now. Schlotterbeck is going to be a huge loss for them because obviously they scored 2 of their goals off the corner that Schlotterbeck started taking.
Is there anyone else on suspension? What? That's not what it should have been.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone else is suspended. There may be someone hurt.
I can't tell if vibes are back or not. I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't say vibes are back. I would not say vibes are back. If they win this, vibes may be back. I think they have to play their best lineup though. They can't afford to rest people against Barca with. Jan Kuto is also suspended. That's also. I think I'm not too big on Freiburg as of right now, where I think this is a good opportunity for Dortmund to get right against a team that is also struggling. But that being said, they've lost 2/4 of their back line to suspension right now, and that is the perfect opportunity for Freiburg to get right as well. I think that it is too important of a game for Dortmund to. I think if Dortmund lose this game, they can kiss their European dreams goodbye.
They have to. They have to. They really. Wait, let's look at the rest of their games. Like, what is the rest of their schedule looking like? So they have. That is not super easy. It's not super hard. It's also not super easy.
It's not easy.
Like, Gladbach's going to be playing their ass off. I think Wolfsburg's kind of cooked at this point, but Leverkusen might have something to fight for. And Kiel might be fighting to get out of relegation. Like, these are not super easy games at all. Huh. Interesting. All right, we're going to have to, because I feel like this profile is going to take a little bit, so let's jump to the next one. Bremen versus Frankfurt. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why the fuck you put this game on here, but
I was at a loss for games, to be honest. It was either this or like what else was this week? St. Pauli Gladbach, which is also on Sunday.
This is kind of a snoozer. We do have a 50 minus 1 derby going on though.
We do have 50 minus 1 derby.
There might be like 20 people in the stadium for that game. So if you want to hear, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna just power through this one. If Frankfurt lose this one, bro, they need to figure their shit out. Like this should be like 3-0. I'll give. Duck's just kind of playing his ass off a little bit right now, so I'll put 3-1.
My big thing is I still don't know if Frankfurt have completely found themselves yet.
Not at all.
Like they do have a couple of wins in a row to end the month of March, but I still feel like they're treading water. Like their best win was probably 4-1 against Ajax, but that's not in the Bundesliga. More recently, though, on 3-1 against Bochum, which it's Bochum. 1-0 against Stuttgart, who is also, like Pokal aside, who is also kind of struggling, is a good win for them, for sure, because it's still Stuttgart. They're in the VfB final. But I feel like Bremen's starting to, like, they went on that long stretch of, like, just loss after loss after loss. But 2-0 against Leverkusen, 3-0 against Kiel, 2 goals against Gladbach, even though they conceded 4. They're starting to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily sweeping on this game if I wouldn't sweep on this game.
Their schedule is easy for the rest of the season. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If they hadn't fucked around all season, they might have been able to sneak in Europe. Anyway,
I'm gonna say no. Let's go barn burner here. I'm gonna go 4-3 to Frankfurt.
God damn. Oh my god! If that turns out to be, that would be some shit. Actually, end up being the game of the weekend. Also, we have a rare Sunday game on here. Not gonna lie to you, this actually could be a good game. Union Berlin's I don't know what the fuck's going on. Look at that. They got, what is that? I can't do math. They got 7 points out of playing Eintracht Frankfurt, Bayern, and Freiburg. What?
Man. Hey, that feeling's being restored to Union Berlin. I'll tell you what.
See, quite frankly, you can't be mad at us anymore. Look at it. Let's see. It eventually worked out, right? And damn, actually, Wolfsburg town playing like some tushy right now. A loss to St. Pauli and Heidenheim. Oof. Not being able to score against Heidenheim is rough. The Baumgart bounce. I don't know if I would call it that. But hey. Let's do this. Whoa, I keep pressing that. Let's do this one real quick. Damn, Wolfsburg really haven't scored in like 3 games, huh?
I honestly am gonna go 1-0 Union here. I think that feeling is being restored.
Mohamed Amora, I think, is out for Freiburg, Wolfsburg, which has been their issue these past few games. So I think they're gonna score. Really, I want to think this is a 1-1 draw, but I'll say 2-1. Damn, that was a good ass drawn too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
B-Farm, do you sound bummed because really you shouldn't be here in theory?
I'm just dreading the fact that I have to spend money on computer parts now.
Oh. Yeah. Heidenheim, we'll do speed round the other games. Heidenheim, Leverkusen. Bro, Leverkusen, don't crash the fuck out.
Don't crash out. Don't
crash out. Okay, we do need to touch on this though. Leverkusen is so spoiled with winning. Their ultras, well, actually, you know what? I think a lot of teams' ultras would be trying to fight the team after that game, but
yeah,
Xhaka and some ultras got into it. That is the last person in Germany I want to fight, so they're feeling real spicy.
Yeah.
Mine should beat Holstein Kiel.
Should. Keyword.
RB Leipzig, Hoffenheim. 2 teams are very down bad right now. Hoffenheim's kind of cooking a little bit though. I'm not gonna. I might.
I may low key pick Hoffenheim because Leipzig has 0 direction right now.
Yeah, there's just players go. If you thought like Shaheen's Dortmund was just vibing, RB Leipzig had one of the most talented teams, and they're just out there running. They're just running.
They're out there doing cardio.
Bochum is apparently the best team in Germany currently, so this is not a game Stuttgart can look over, but I do think they're going to ride that emotional high and beat them. St. Pauli Gladbach, secretly kind of a good game. I'm going to guess Gladbach wins that though. They're kind of playing.
I'm leaning Gladbach to that as well.
Alright, let me close some of this shit. Alright, you saw the meme, but
You saw the meme.
It's about that time.
Pretend you didn't see the meme.
Yeah, pretend you didn't. Alright, so as you know, Arminia Bielefeld in the 3rd tier has made the DFB Pokal. It's a weird team because I feel like some people have heard of them for reasons we'll get into later. But
we gotta get 2 scarves.
Oh, 2 scarves. Okay. I feel like I should have these like ready next time. I never do. Oh, for you, Wikipedia, I'll do this. I have a Germany national team scarf. That's pretty plain. And then the Lakeside Boys, baby. Pacific FC, let's fucking go. Alright. Let's jump into it.
I have 2 Chicago Fire scarves.
History of Arminia Bielefeld. So who is Arminia Bielefeld? Arminius, that's who, motherfucker. Arminius, baby. So the name Armenia comes from this guy named Arminius. So in the year 9 AD, with the Germanic, Cherusci tribe. It was a huge upset. Like, we're talking, like, ironically, like Bielefeld beating Leverkusen. Like, they beat the shit out of the Roman legion, and prevented the Romanization of the Germanic people east of the Rhine. Historians have always said that this is like a huge point in history, because the expansion of the Roman Empire kind of stopped when they lost this, because Augustus the Third started crashing the fuck out after he lost this. It was a big moment for German nationalism. Like, it kind of like was like a uniting kind of moment for Germanic tribes that were usually split up, and like the Prussian Empire really leaned on this a lot. But that's where the name Armenia comes from. It derives from Arminius, because Bielefeld is like in this forest, basically. It was started to guard this forest later on. So, and then if you're a history buff, the "Give me back my legions" quote from Augustus came from this. So, important stuff. The timeline. So, in 1905, Arminia Bielefeld was founded as Erste Bielefelder FC Arminia by the local bourgeoisie, which is really funny. It was just a bunch of rich guys that was like super bored and like, let's play soccer, so they made a team. I put this on here because it is a kind of a power move. Their local rivals, FC Siegfried, joined them and like combined. Because as we go over with German history, like there's a point in time where a lot of teams kind of like combined to be bigger teams because it was hard to find soccer people and stuff like that. So they had their local rivals join, which is pretty fucking cool. They won the Western German Championship in 1922. Big old fucking gap, as you can see. And then they were punished for match fixing in 1971. We will talk about that. Then since 1971, they've been up and down, up and down, up and down. I even made a chart in Google to chart how up and down they've been. This is over how many years this is? From 1971 to now. So they've been everywhere. Like, every part of the table they have been in. But very common practice. I see the Spanish parallels. Oh, yeah, with, like, combining teams, yeah. Match fixing, yeah. We'll go into that. They got the big old punishment for match fixing. Where is it? There it is.
Oh my God, it's in the middle of, it's in the void.
It's beautiful.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Because I know a vast majority of the people don't understand the meme, we're going to explain the Bielefeld doesn't exist meme. I was out on the joke until I researched it, and now I'm back in on the joke. It's so fucking funny. So in 1994, Achim Held, a student at the University of Kiel, posted on like a very old website, like 1994, obviously. In response to someone meeting someone from Bielefeld at a party, he said, "Das gibt doch gar nicht," which is a double entendre. It means unbelievable, and also that doesn't exist. The context I think a lot of people miss from this is that this guy has said, like, around 1993, major roadways going into Bielefeld were all closed, so, like, it was very hard to get to for a little bit. And he has said that this is kind of, like, where it originated from. So the theory is based on 3 questions. Do you know anybody from Bielefeld? Have you been to Bielefeld? And do you know anybody who has ever been to Bielefeld? I have done all 3, so I'm in on the joke. And the joke is, like, anyone who says yes is, like, part of the conspiracy. Wait, that's actually very funny. So, things that came from this joke. In 1999, the city of Bielefeld... Remember, this was before the internet was, like, widespread. The city of Bielefeld released a press statement just telling everybody that they exist. In 2009, Bielefeld University students created a fictional documentary on the conspiracy where, like, they were in on the joke, and it was, like, a, like, fake, like, oh, yeah, we exist, we totally exist. I have the link to it. I can share it later. This is how big this joke is. Angela Merkel, in not anything relating to Bielefeld, Someone asked her about Bielefeld in a town hall meeting, and she said it might not exist, basically. So this is how widespread this joke is. For their 800th anniversary, Bielefeld's motto for the celebration was "Das gibt doch gar nicht," which is what he said about the person at the party from Bielefeld. And then in 2019, the city of Bielefeld offered 1 million euros to anyone who could definitively prove that Bielefeld didn't exist. And then they said, since no one could prove definitively that it didn't exist, they said the conspiracy is over. But obviously that's the deep state. So
50 plus conspiracies at work here.
All right. So about the city. Jake, what about the city? What makes it so easy for people to say it doesn't exist? Well, there's not a whole lot going on there, to be 100% honest with you. I saw someone at a Chicago Fire tailgate with a giant Arminia Oh, yeah, I know her. That's the person I know who's from Bielefeld. Great person. All right. 18th largest city in Germany, which is so funny because that seems like a very big number, but that's only 338,000 people, which should go to show you how small most German cities are. Is the home of the Bethel Institute, which is like a how do I describe it? It's like a healthcare thing, but it's like the largest social business in Europe. It's like for social impact. It was founded to guard a pass in the Teutoburg Forest, which the whole Arminius thing. That's what they won to defend that. The old market in the Bielefeld town square has buildings that are old as 13th century to this day. Like, think about that. America was not even a twinkle in anybody's eye when some of those buildings were up. Home of the Sparrenburg Castle, which is like on top of a hill, so you can see a lot of the city from up there. But that dates back to the 1200s. Up until 1980, it was a major barrack and HQ for the British Army. It was the starting point of the Protestant Reformation, and it's the birthplace of Ritter Oettinger. If you have lived in Germany, you know Dr. Oettinger. It's a very big brand, but that is where they are headquartered. Someone was probably in Bielefeld getting heated with every German game. Probably. Imagine like you going around Germany and be like, I'm from Bielefeld, and like everyone tells you it doesn't exist. Anyway. Alright, the Bielefelder Alm, aka the Schuko Arena where they play their games. They have been there since, I didn't put this on there. They have been there since 1922.
Sheesh.
The ground. The area where the ground is.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a 1920.
No, if they were building this in 1922, I think there's bigger conspiracies that we could be buying into. The ground was first made for soccer in 1972, where it had 700 seats. Historically, has always been the minimum for stadium expectation with promotion. So every time they've gotten promoted, they've done the bare minimum to kind of like fit the requirements for your stadium in the division. It is the highest stadium in Germany. I didn't know that, which is pretty cool. At 1,820 feet above sea level. Wait, this isn't true. Hold on. Wait, I need to fix this. Ignore those two. No, this one. Ignore that one. Renovated. It got renovated 4 times. And yes. The more interesting fun facts. It has a max capacity currently of 27,000, which is not that big. But I guess compared to the size of the city. When Arminia Bielefeld outgrew their stadium in the mid-1920s, the handball team for Bielefeld made contact with a farmer with the last name Lohmann, who agreed to a 100-year lease in 1926 on the ground that they play now. It was called the Bielefelder Alm, which means pasture in Germany, allegedly because a club member said it looks like a pasture in here because the grass quality was so shit. Because in the lease, it said that Lohmann can have his cattle graze the pitch when it wasn't in use. So it was a field to play games on, and also a cattle grazing place as well. Both of these are combined while their mascot's name is Lohmann, and it's also a bull. And now I am realizing, actually, I have debated you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
This slide was left over from the Heidenheim one. Clickbait you. So they got to move. I tried to look up what happened with that lease, but I think they got it under control. I don't think they're like gonna get fucked. I like looked so hard for what that lease was, and it was just because they have Arminia Bielefeld did the Pokal and like everyone's talking about it. It's so hard to find stuff about Bielefeld now. And it was the home of the 2010 U20 Women's World Cup final, which Germany won. They were supposed to be a host site for the Women's World Cup, but Leverkusen got it instead of Bielefeld. Wow, no one cares, Jake. I like the Premier League. I only care about trophies. Tell me about that. Well, they don't have a whole lot. I'm not going to lie to you. So, they won this fight to Bundesliga only 4 times, which is crazy for how much they've been promoted. They've only won the Dritte Liga once, which I think is the craziest part, considering how up and down they've been. And they won the German Cup a few times. Yeah, they're pretty shit, honestly. They're very up and down. This is just in recent history, as you can see. They're one of the only teams I've seen that, like, had rapidly promoted and also rapidly demoted themselves. As you can see with these 3, it's one of the rare times where they've had back-to-back relegations. They were really shit at this point, too, by the way. Oh, my God. It was, like, really painful to watch. Hold on. Jake. Did you say match-fixing earlier? Yes, I did. In 1971, at the end of the 1971 season, where Arminia Bielefeld won their last 3 games in magnificent fashion to avoid relegation, Horst Giorgio Canales, Eintracht Frankfurt fans, close your ears, of Offenbach Kickers fame, on his 50th birthday, he was like, hey everyone, come to my 50th birthday party. Let's celebrate. At his birthday party, he snitched. He started to snitch. He revealed on his 50th birthday that Arminia Bielefeld saved themselves from a relegation by paying 3 teams to win. Arminia Bielefeld was in financial trouble, and because the money was so good in the first league, they just thought it was a good idea to spend money to stay in the first league. After they lost to Offenbach Kickers, they paid Schalke 40,000 Deutschmark and Essen an undisclosed amount to lose. They also paid Hertha to throw their game, the last game of the season. They paid 25,000, who accepted because they were in third, but Gladbach and Bayern were so ahead, they just didn't care about the last part of the game. Kickers, hearing that they had paid a bribe, also tried to pay a bribe to Hertha so that Hertha could win. But Hertha took the Arminia Bielefeld bribe instead, and because of the Hertha game, Offenbach and Essen were relegated. This was also announced on the day that Gladbach won the title, so fucking LOL, unbiased. The other team should be penalized. Don't worry, we're getting to that. Because many teams were semi-professionals, like players had a reason to take bribes. They weren't making the money that players are making right now. Most Schalke players were banned from a year from club football, and some even from the national team to 5. I think one of the most famous, 2 famous instances of this is Volkmar Gross, who was the goalkeeper for Hertha. He was one of the people who took the bribes. He was banned from the Bundesliga and the national team, and because of that, he would have. Everyone says he would have been in that 1974 team that won the World Cup. So he didn't get a World Cup winner's ring because he took the bribe. And then Klaus Fischer, you might not have ever heard of this, but he was the biggest competitor to Gerd Müller for Bundesliga top scorer. And because he got banned, Müller got to make up that ground. And some say if he hadn't gotten banned for all those years, he probably would be the leading goal scorer in Bundesliga history. Kickers Offenbach literally never recovered. I don't think they've been in the first league since then. No, they have, but very briefly. And this was like, I think like the other thing that's lost in this is like this almost buried German soccer. Like it's all about integrity of the game, right? So this league that had just started, really, like 20 years young, like this would be like if MLS 10 years ago, like they found a team was bribing the entire season and they got to win the championship because they bribed people. Like MLS probably would not have survived that. And it really only survived because Germany won in 1974. A lot of people said that saved the league. 42 total players, 2 coaches, and 6 club officials banned in total, including Kickers Offenbach, the guy who snitched. And the joke is that Schalke is the only team to have lied under oath about this, so people still make fun of them for that too.
Anyway.
Unbiased. We see how American baseball freaks freak out over betting games. Germany must have... Yeah, it was not good, y'all. It really was not good. Instead, they try to let Miami and LA do what they want financially, but it doesn't work. I mean, this isn't like financial stuff. This is people like paying to fuck up games. And then the end result, let's get this back to Arminia Bielefeld. Arminia Bielefeld lost their Bundesliga license and ended up losing more than they paid for bribes, which I think seemed pretty obvious. This began the start of their constant financial troubles. If you look up what this team has been doing, they are like constantly in financial issues. I think they were just in financial issues like a few years ago too. And like, so like the question goes, like if they had just straight gotten relegated, would they have fucked themselves over forever like they did here? I don't know. Bielefeld were relegated to the Regionalliga. There was no Dritte Liga at this point, which is important to do. So it's kind of like they got put in the third league, but they made it back. But the financial impact of getting all of that, and just like the bad reputation they had forever, really took forever to get off their back. Another fun fact is if you are a fan of African football, why there's a big influx of German players for South African football is because all of the people who couldn't play in the Bundesliga, like South African football is not like sanctioned at that point, so they were just like, let's go to South Africa and play. Anyway. Famous people. Ernst Mittendorf, he's not really that famous, but he's been their coach 3 times. Frank Geidek. Thomas von Heesen, if you're a Hamburg fan, that is a very familiar name for you. And Otto Reihagel, he's a huge figure in Bundesliga history. But really their player list is pretty impressive, right? The same Hamburg legend, Fabian Klos, who's their leading goal scorer, he retired 2 years ago. Stefan Ortega, Manchester City fans in the chat, you're welcome. Patrick Olomoyela, who is a commentator and also a pretty well-known figure. Marcel Hartl, Patrick Wimmer. If you're a Atlanta United fan, George Bello, this is where he went. Ritsu Dewan, who everyone knows. Fire fans, close your ears. Casper. The God, Bruno Labbadia. Stefan Kuntz, who is a big coaching figure now. And Arne Friedrich, another big figure in Bundesliga media. But what about their squad now? Who are these guys? Their squad is young as fuck. Like it is mostly 20 and 21-year-olds. But Mitch Knott, who I think he was a coach last year. He got hired very recently. Mael Corboz. He's from America. Oh my God. He's American and French. But will American media talk about how their captain is from America?
No.
He's not a big enough name. Anyway. You should know these guys because they were playing their ass off against Leverkusen. Like, Joel Grodowski in particular, if you watch that game, you heard his name over and over and over again. Julian Kanaya, who's having an incredible season. I think he's their goal scorer right now. Jonas Kirsten, who is their goalkeeper, played his ass off all tournament. And I put Sam Schreck on there because get out of my swamp. Vorl's killing it in the Pokal, but he's going back to Hanover. Yes, he is on loan. That is the other thing. There's a lot of players on loan on this team, so I don't know what's going to happen in the summer. Other fun facts. Damn, this went faster than I thought it did.
You moved efficiently, for real.
I'm getting better at these, dude. I hope I didn't go too fast. I definitely need some feedback off of this one, but I do feel like I talk fast. They were promoted to the Bundesliga a record 8 times throughout their history, and they're one of 8 teams to be promoted back-to-back, which was a while ago. They also were one of the only teams to get 2 straight relegations. Christopher Katongo is their €2 million signing, their biggest arrival, and he only played 64 games. George Bello was their second highest from Atlanta United. That was 2021, and he only played 33 games. He fucking disappeared after he signed. Record departure, Patrick Vimmer. Why the fuck did I put a number in there? I don't know.
I'll look it up real quick.
And then the funniest story I found when researching it. So there's a guy named Giuseppe Reina. He is not related to that Reina. But in 1996, he signed for Bielefeld. And in his contract, he stated that he wanted the club to build a house for him every year that he played for them. He played for 3 years. Since the contract was not specific enough, the club, instead of making actual houses, made 3 Lego houses. So they obviously went to court about that, but I thought that was so fucking funny. And then most importantly, they have never won or been to the final in the Pokal. So this is a big moment for them. Even if they lose, I think the vibes are still going to be high, because I don't think at any point in Bielefeld's history you could tell a Bielefeld fan, hey, you're going to be in the final of the Pokal at some point. I don't think any of them would believe you in any year that they've existed. So,
all right, Patrick Vimmer's transfer fee was €5 million.
Did he at least get to keep the Legos? I'm sure he at least got to keep the Legos after going to court. And then I made a great meme, obviously. Haha, historical memes. Publius Varus has spilled the gumbo at the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. He killed himself because he knew Augustus was going to fucking fuck him up for losing that.
It shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Then obviously suicide's not funny, but like he was going to get his ass beat if he came back after losing that one. Are they deep dives conveniently archived for public consumption? Yes. I'm going to be editing this down and putting it on YouTube so that it'll just be on there forever. We have the Heidenheim deep dive still on in our YouTube. So I want to know the GM who finessed Rena there. I don't know, man, but I don't think he got another job after that. Beefum, can you talk about literally anything? I don't know how I did this show before where I'd talk for an hour.
I don't know. I actually can, because before stream there was a video recommended to me on YouTube. It was called History of German Soccer, I guess. It was like in the what the dude that did the history of the entire world, I guess. I forget.
Wait, what?
His name was. It's not the same dude. It was in the same style as it.
Oh.
But it was very interesting just because
history of the German national team, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think of German football?
That was a very interesting video for me to watch because.
But damn, it's an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long as.
Wait, put this in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. It's very good. I really like how the video was structured. I need to actually go back because it was like mid-nap time and I fell asleep and then woke up.
It's been a
towards
bit since the last
2006 section of the video.
Wait, this guy used to follow us on Twitter.
Oh wait, for real?
Yeah. I don't think he's moved over to Blue Sky.
Well, but if you're looking to learn a little bit more.
You did not care about that fun fact. I get it.
25-hour filibuster time. I will stand up here and talk for. Oh, what did you touch on at the beginning that I wasn't able to touch on? I wasn't able to comment on.
Oh, Dortmund Steelers.
Dortmund Steelers. I didn't actually read up on that. What's going on with that?
Oh, it's one of the. I don't know why the Bundesliga likes doing this shit so much, but it's one of those just useless partnerships. I think they both saw they wore the same colors and they're both steel teams and was like, hey. Also, I do have to point out a very funny part of this. First ever partnership between the two clubs who are also not only united by their renewed colors, but their industrial past. And then here we go, stand-up hours, winning traditions, as well as interest in future success and international collaboration. I think two of those things they might want to fact check before they put in an official document. But I mean, hey,
6 rings. Can't
rings.
find a functional 6.
I mean, dude. Like, Steelers, I think, have the most Super Bowls right now, right?
Yes, they.
So how the fuck are they both have winning traditions?
I think it's most NFL championships. I don't know if it's Super Bowls.
I presume
it's one of the
Steelers
two.
are going to go in NFL Germany down the line. I thought they already did.
Mike Tomlin, the coach Dortmund, confirmed. I mean,
he'd be their better hire. They're tied with the Patriots. Gross. Should we reveal? Since we have 10 minutes, should we do some revealing about two future guests that we're about to have?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm gonna edit this out of the VOD because you never know. So we do have 2 people interested in coming on the show in the summer. Why is my eye so red?
Because it's a heartwarming topic.
Oh, I got the K. Rool eye going. We have Derek Ray and we have Archie, who we are finding time over the summer to try to come on the show. So
you can get off his ass. He did it. He reached out to them.
I did do it. Yeah,
he did do it.
Derek Ray said yes in like 7 minutes, which is crazy too. Other news. Beeflam and I have talked about doing if you saw the stream on Saturday. See you Shades of Blue. Yeah, go watch Shades of Blue after this.
Go watch Shades of Blue after this.
Yes, immediately after. We are also going to do, if you saw our stream on Saturday, we're going to do something similar for the Pokal final as well. So, bro, let's just end early, dude. I'm so tired of talking. I'm so tired of talking. Aaron Rodgers' next ayahuasca journey, oh god, is going to take him through a darkness retreat. Oh. That wasn't Flim on Saturday? Oh, yeah, I got it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I put a shit ton of work into that. Maybe we'll do another profile over the summer as well. You're running out of opportunities to watch German soccer. Like, there's like 6 match days left, so... enjoy it while it lasts, but we got a lot of shit planned for the summer, so if you are still fucking with us, we got shit for you. I'm so tired of talking, dude. Any last?
Yeah, stop talking. Give Jake his flowers. He absolutely cooked for this episode.
God bless.
With the profile. I'm gonna have to do my own thing here soon to make up for that. Otherwise,
we have never done a Dortmund profile, so maybe that's
me. Maybe that's my thing. But we'll see how that works out. I need to get unbusy.
That is a soft no.
I need to get unbusy first and foremost.
Sure,
I need to actually make time to make content.
That's the other thing, man. I'm running out of free time as well.
Otherwise, make sure you're following on Blue Sky on here. I don't know if you're here on YouTube or Twitch and not even following. I don't know how, but make sure you do that. Watch the games. There's only 7 match days left? 6 match days left?
6, yeah.
That's scary to think about.
Set your lineups. Don't be like me last week.
Set your lineups. I think I only made like 3 changes last week, which was crazy because it was an international break. We need to get out of here.
Yeah, we're okay. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend, and bro, stay sane out there, dude.
Stay sane.
Stay sane.
Protect your peace.
Protect your fucking